And we are live. Welcome back to It's Not a Sport, Season 2, Episode 6. We have a lot of juicy news that came out this week. Just a lot of just small little things left and right, and just little surprises that really added on. So before we get into all that, let's do the usual routine and go through esports. Starting with League of Legends, of course. With the LCS, Team Liquid is in first. They are 13-1, followed by Cloud9, who are 11-3, and TSM in third, which are 9-5. FlyQuest is fourth. Golden Guardians and Optic are tied for fifth. Counterlogic Gaming and Clutch Gaming are tied for seventh, and Echo Fox and 100 Thieves are last. Damn. In Europe, G2 is first. Tied for second is Origin and Splice. Tied for fourth is Fnatic and Team Vitality. Tied for sixth is SK Gaming and Skalak. I need to learn how to pronounce them. I butcher it every week. Eighth is Misfits. Ninth is Excel, and of course 10th is Rogue, and they are 2-15. In the Overwatch League, which like every week, this is going on at the time of recording. The current people who are playing are Washington Justice versus Paris Eternal. New York Excelsior is first, followed by Vancouver, then Toronto, then Philadelphia Fusion, then Dallas, then Atlanta, then San Francisco, and then Gansu Go Chargers. And then that's the cutoff point for playoffs. Under the cutoff point for playoffs is Boston Uprising, Seoul Dynasty, Houston Outlaws, London Spitfires, Los Angeles Gladiators, Hangzhou Spark, Shanghai Dragons, Paris Eternal, Chengdu Hunters, Florida, Washington, and Los Angeles Falcons is last place. For video game releases, we are basically concluding March. The game that released today, which would be our first kind of news to talk about, is The Division 2, Tom Clancy Division 2. It came out today, I believe, on Friday, the 15th. From our next show, nothing really big comes out. The next big game that comes out next week will be Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which is the game made by the same people who made Dark Souls. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to that, because this is it's a Souls type game, of course, but this is a different style of Dark Souls, for example, just like how Bloodborne is. So I may pick it up. I don't know. It's kind of flying under the radar now. It's like, with a week of release, it's getting hyped up. We seem to be getting like a good AAA title each week at the end of Friday. And it's also interesting that they changed release dates, because usually it used to be Tuesday, but now a lot of these games are coming out on Friday. So that's definitely really interesting, but that's the next game to look forward to. Moving on, let's talk about the Division 2, shall we? So, seems to be doing alright. My friend played the beta. He said that he liked it. It has a 7.9 on Metacritic. Again, these are very early reviews. The game just came out. But it's definitely seems to be an alright game. I personally, if you're gonna pick up this game, I wouldn't play it if you don't have friends to play with. I would definitely wait at least a couple days, or maybe like a couple weeks, to see where it settles. Because the only reason I say this is because the developers are Ubisoft, and they are kind of known for not making the best of games. They have been making a lot better games recently, but they're known to kind of fuck up and screw up, time to time. So play this one slow. We'll see how it goes next week. We'll see what the thoughts are, the reviews are. But it seems to be good. There's also alternatives that are kind of more steady right now. For instance, Destiny 2 just came out with their Gambit, Year of the Gambler, whatever, mini DLC. So if you're looking for kind of a loot shooter, you can either do that or you can do this, but I would say wait. So our first kind of news is Netflix. So last year, if you're an anime fan, right, Netflix dominated the anime scene with Violet Evergarden and Devil May Cry Baby. They had some of the best stories and best animations out there on any platform. And I've talked about these shows before in the past, but I highly recommend you go and watch them because they are fantastic shows that really just stand above all the other kind of animes that have been coming out for the last years. Because a lot of the stuff that comes out this time around is complete trash and really just fan services over and over again. So Netflix completely dominated the anime field, and they're doubling down again with producing a Dragon's Dogma anime, an alternate Carbone anime, and a Ghost in the Shell anime, and just much more. So I'm actually really happy to see them investing into this, because the studios that they invest for Devilman Crybaby and Violet Evergarden were fantastic, and I would love to just see more out of them. I think Netflix does a great job with just investing in these kind of small shows and small animation kid shows and just all that just they do great, but people don't really generally look at that. Other than that, news that really came out of surprise, which I'm super happy to see, was Halo Master Chief Collection, which was originally released in November 11th, 2014, will be coming to PC and Steam, I believe, relatively soon. So in case you didn't know, that complies of Halo Combat Evolution Anniversary, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo ODST, Halo 4. I didn't know Halo 4 was in there. But Halo 4 is in there. And Reach. So just to repeat, Halo Combat Evolution, which is Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 3 ODST, Halo 4, and Reach. So that's 5-6 Halo games. I don't think Halo 5 would be in there, but I think Halo 5 should be in there. Just because that game was released in 2015. So just getting that to PC finally is it should have happened a long time ago. I'll look at the positive first. The positive is that people who, like me, who didn't have Xboxes, who didn't grow up on Halo, now get to run through those games again on PC, which is a lot easier and accessible for me, of course. We get to run through it on PC with my friends who also maybe didn't experience Halo or anything like that. So I'm really excited, not in multiplayer too, but really I'm just excited to play 4-man co-op with my friends and just running on the hardest difficulty with the skulls or whatever. It just looks awesome and super fun to play. It should have been on PC a very long time ago, especially the old Halos, because a lot of developers just port old games to PC and maybe remaster them. They don't even remaster them sometimes, they just port them to PC. So it's good to see that. Now we look at the business side of it. No one's bought or played a Halo game really since Reach, to be honest. Since Bungie left, no one's really played it. I played Halo 4 when I first got my Xbox before I lost in the fire. But no one's really played Halo, at all. Uh, so it's kind of been like a dying franchise, with Xbox being dying, as no one really buys Xbox, or no one, wants to buy a new Xbox, because Xbox really doesn't have any good games, any good titles. So this is kind of a plea for help from Microsoft, that now they have to release it on PC, because they didn't really do these with their exclusives before. They kind of just recently started doing this, kind of through their Microsoft Play thingamajiggy that no one uses, but you can. And I would expect them to do this. That's why it says on PC, and then it says on Steam, because generally people buy their games through Steam, and this will be a huge boost for both Microsoft being it on Steam instead of their Windows bullshit thing, and it'll be a huge boost for Steam, especially with Epic trying to start up their new store and them getting all these exclusives, like etc. etc. Just having Halo on Steam, it's gonna blow up. I expect this to be bigger than when the original Master Chief Collection came out, because seeing these games on PC, and I've never, I played these games, but I never really got to experience them as much as maybe some other. And I'm so excited to play Halo 2, right? Which was ported to Windows Vista years ago. I'm so excited to play Halo 3, which was like one of the most famous Halos. ODST, which wasn't that good, but the story apparently was, pretty decent. And then everyone's last favorite Halo game, which just started all, which was just like honestly my favorite Halo game to watch, even though I couldn't play it, just to watch. Halo Reach come out. It's gonna be awesome. So, and Halo 1, I guess, Combat Evolved, which no one really talks about, but it's good to see that too. Other than that, Battlefield 5 released their trailer for Firestorm, which is their Battle Royale. I mean, cool. It looks cool. With Battlefield 5, I think it's the interesting part of this will be the engine, on how Battlefield 5's engine works, and like how things can, like buildings and everything can just be destroyed, etc., etc. So I think that's going to be cool to see. We're going to just have to wait to see, to be honest. It also has Apex, because, well, of course, Battle Royale now is just kind of an overbloated genre. Excuse me. And with Apex existing, also with EA, who sees, who will win. We'll see where it goes. And also in other anime news, Psycho Pass. I believe I talked about this last week. Psycho Pass will be getting a season 3, which kind of came out of the blue. And then we got an announced date this week, which will be in October of this year. So, something to look forward to. In case you also didn't know, a lot of animes got like movies that came out in Japan kind of between this February and the end of last year. One of those movies being Code Geass Lelouch Resurrection, which is like, it should be season 3 of Code Geass, but it's not. It's like a movie, and it's like, okay, he comes back to life or whatever the fuck. So that came out in Japan, and also Gundam Narrative, which takes place a year after Gundam Unicorn, Gundam Unicorn is on Netflix, and I recommend, if you want to try a Gundam series, you definitely go watch that, because it's really up to date. It's the OVAs, so they're just like, you just binge watching like movies, and they have some really good end credit songs. So those movies released in Japan. We're still waiting for them to be like released over here. But yeah, back to Psycho Pass. It's getting a season 3, and it comes out in October. So, for those of you who play Hearthstone's expansion was recently announced. I believe it's the 11th full set of Hearthstone expansion, and it's gonna be released later this year. Of course, like any card game that's like, based off of Magic, this will be now into standard, and then everything else will be rotated out. So actually, here's the information. We'll just go over it right now. This will be released in April 9th, 2019, with pre-release being April 5th, 2019. Single player content date May 2019. It will have 135 new cards. It will have new mechanics such as times, twin spell, Lackley's, schemes plus callback cards. We'll probably read more about that. 2 pre-purchases tiers. So you'll get 50 Rise of the Shadow card packs, plus Jewel of Lazoo card packs, plus 1 random Rise of the Shadow Legendary for $50, and 80 Rise of the Shadow card packs, plus Jewel of Lazoo card packs, plus Madame Lazoo Priest Hero, plus random Golden Rise of the Shadow Legendary for $80. And the Shadow Bundle, available for the first week of the expansion, includes 9 packs, plus arena ticket for $10. So, on stream, we have some cards that have been announced, some spoilers, basically. I don't play Hearthstone, I play Magic, but they look to be good. Hopefully, I know Hearthstone has incredibly amount of, problems and balance issues, which is just kind of like one deck beats all and that's all they play or something like that. So I hope this expansion, helps make the game better, and also cycles out, depending on what the rotation is, cycles out the bad cards. Again, I don't play Hearthstone. So I personally hope better all. It's good for the game. Otherwise, just go play Magic. Magic Arena is blossoming right now. It's super fun. We're actually getting, at the end of April as well, we're getting another expansion, War of the Spark. And, so, yeah, my personal advice, just go play Magic. Anyway, Twin Spell, the new mechanic. When you cast a spell with Twin Spell, it adds another copy of itself to your hand, but this time without Twin Spell. So you can cast them twice in a total. Unlike Echo, they don't have to be played during the same turn. So, pardon me. That's kind of cool. Basically, if you play a card, then you get a copy of that card, but you don't have to play it that exact turn. You can just hold on to it. So you have 2 of the same card, but for 1. New token card, Lackeys. Because every evil mastermind needs a Lackey, Lackeys are new token cards. You can put them into your deck. They are only generated by other Rise of the Shadow cards. There are 5 Lackeys in total, 1 related to each of the villains. They are all 1 mana, 1/1 minions with helpful battle cries. They will be generated by many different cards, and Evil Massacre is just one of them. So, it looks like these are just tokens that you put in your deck, and when you play that card, it plays, that token automatically comes out too, or something like that. Again, I don't really play Hearthstone, so I don't know how this mechanic works exactly, but it seems like kind of a cool mechanic. It seems kind of overpowered. New mechanic, Scheme. Scheme cards are spells that start weak and grow strong each turn. They're in your hand. Increase a number on them each turn. So they're cards that just scale depending on how long they're in your hand. Callback cards. All of our villains were around for quite some time, so some of these new cards might be familiar. Callbacks will be using mechanics from the past expansion, which as Priest of Forbidden Words, which uses Forbidden mechanic from Whisperer of the Old Gods that spends all. So it's just like a new mechanic that uses old mechanics. Looking at some of the art, that kind of sums up the Hearthstone expansion. So, looks to be good. I hope it's good. And I hope you Hearthstone players enjoy it. It's always fun getting new cards. Also this week, Avengers Endgame trailer came out. If you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. Go watch it. It's the second trailer. I was talking to my friend kind of about it. My opinion of it, I have not seen Captain Marvel, so maybe it's different if I saw Captain Marvel, but my opinion of it, it looks like a Marvel movie. It is a Marvel movie. It's a Marvel movie, so that's what it looks like. I think that it's the most interesting thing about this trailer is that I remember when the first Infinity War trailer came out, it got a lot of slack for revealing too much. It revealed way too much. And so this new Endgame trailers reveal barely anything, which I like a lot. It saves the suspense. My friend told me it's only like the first 15 minutes of the movie that it reveals over and over again. Like, that's all the trailer is. So, not seeing what Thanos is up to and how it ends is, interesting. I didn't like Infinity War, as we know. We've had a past show about it last year in the last season. But this Endgame, actually, I want to go into it with an open mind. And it looks interesting. And I hope that it is a good conclusion. And that's kind of, I just hope it's a good conclusion. Because, it's a Marvel movie. It's a Marvel movie. For the 1.5 of you who play No Man's Sky, still, No Man's Sky Beyond, they announced today, I believe, will be an update that comes out in summer of 2019. Since No Man's Sky's tragic launch, they've just been updating the game over and over again, and I believe it has gotten better, and there's a lot more things you can do. But I think the launch was just so heavy-handed that it can never truly recover. In my opinion, just go play Minecraft, honestly. It's probably the best bet. Is to go enjoy Minecraft. So, last but not least, this week, there is a Fortnite tournament that Epic is hosting. Basically, if you've been playing Fortnite for the last couple of 2 weeks or so, there's been this ranked mode that you can play and you can earn points. There's been testing. And if you're in the top 3%, I believe, with all the points, then Epic has invited you to play in their tournament, which you can earn a total of $100,000. So, let's just go over kind of everything from this post by Epic Lumen, who's part of Epic Games. So, placing in the top 3% in the Gauntlet Test event by 3/16/19, which is tomorrow, will unlock this weekend's event in the game. The Scallywag Cup will occur across 2 rounds. Round 1 semifinals on Saturday and round 2 finals on Sunday. Each round will be its own 3-hour session. Participation will also only be able to play at a maximum of 10 matches during each session. So, if you're in 3% by tomorrow, you get invited to the tournament for Saturday and Sunday, and you can only play 10 matches to get as high as you want. The top 1,500 teams in each region at the conclusion of the semifinals will advance to the finals. After the finals have concluded, the top 25 eligible teams in each region will be awarded the following prizes. So it's a duo cup. So let's get into the money. NA East will have $2,000 and $2,500 for rank 1. 2nd through 5th will have $2,000. 6th through 10th will have $1,500, 11th through 16th, $800, and 17th through 25, $300 for NA East. NA West, first will get $1,000, second will get $800, sixth will get $500, 11th through 25 will be $200. Europe, first will be $300 and $500. Second through fifth will be $300. Sixth through 10th will be $200. 11th through 16th will be $1,000. And 17th through 25 will be $500. Oceania, $1,000 for first, $800 for second through fifth, $500 for sixth to 10th, $200 through 11th through 25. Brazil, same values as Oceania, and Asia, same values as Oceania. To be eligible to participate in the Scallywag Cup match, a player must be at least 13 years old or such other age, if greater, as may be required in such player's country of residence. Minors must have permission from parents or blah blah blah. Basically, you gotta have a certain age or blah to earn money and be eligible. So you may be wondering, why the fuck does Europe get so much money compared to everyone else? Well, I tell you why. I think because Europe is the largest server, right, for Fortnite. They're all one big server, right? Where compared to NA, we're split in two. Second, they're really skilled apparently over there, because there's a post on like skill level of each server, and that server is incredibly skilled because of course they're the largest server, and that's like all of Europe essentially, or whatever regions can play in that server. For example, like why NA East is second most largest money is because I believe I play on NA East, and we're bigger than NA West, which is like LA and all that. So we're a lot bigger. And I believe we have a lot more skill maybe because we're bigger. I think our ping's shittier, but we're bigger. And that's why we also have higher, value. So I think it's based on player base, which is why the money is higher, because, it's more competition essentially. And NA West, Ocarina, and Brazil still has smaller, I think, because they're smaller regions. It's really cool to see Epic do this. I think this is kind of like a test to see, because $1,000 is absolutely nothing for them. And if you make $200, like if you're in NA West, you place 11th through 25. It's like pocket money essentially. So this is really just a test to see how what's going on with the Fortnite competitive community, and let's see where they will go with it. I hope they probably won't. You'll actually have to watch like your favorite streamers who participate. But if Epic previewed some of these games so people could watch it, that would be really cool. But you're probably just gonna have to watch your favorite streamers. Anyway, that's going to conclude this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed all the news. I enjoyed all the news. I was really happy to see Halo, and among other things. Follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook. You can find the live stream and the live videos always on our Twitch channel. Links are all in the description. You can find all of our past shows will be on YouTube, with the most current shows being uploaded very soon. I'm in finals this week, so I'm just finishing up school. And you can listen to all of our shows on SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, and of course, like I said before, YouTube. Thank you for listening. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. I hope you're grinding out those games and you're really enjoying yourself. Take care.